Hello again. The next experience I had with ETs was actually last month in early November. This time it was these little green beings. I know that sounds kind of cliche, even coming out of my mouth. Little green men, but they're these little green beings, and they're about 4 feet tall. The first one showed up in my dream, but it was really like having a telepathic connection, and I was chasing after it and leaping over fences trying to catch up with it, and it kept teleporting away. And finally, at the end of the dream, me and my friend Sarah were trying to get it to appear, and I had these two stones, and one stone had like these ovals on it in the shape of an angel, and the other stone was in the shape of like a little star. And I'd move them together, and they would force the being to appear in our dimension, and my friend Sarah would try to hug it to get it to stay in the dimension. Well, after that we finally did kind of get it to stay for a little bit, but then after that the dream kind of faded. Well, the next night, before I went to sleep, I saw the being's face like right in front of mine. So it was like a balloon shape, these kind of almond shaped black eyes, and it was just like, in my consciousness. And it said, "It is essential for your ascension and mastery for you to interact with us fearlessly." My consciousness then went out of body, and I was taken to this large facility. It felt like it was underground, and there were all these women in like these kind of like hibernation chambers, and they're all pregnant. The next thing I hear is, "We are helping to birth a new consciousness on this planet." And they kind of telepath that was why I was seeing this imagery, that's what it would communicate to me the best, this point that they were trying to get across to me. And I turned around and I saw like this group of the beings, and they all looked like they were connected together. And they were kind of like, "Can he see us? Can he see us?" And I'm like, I guess they kind of got that I saw him. And then I looked around some more, and then I kind of faded out, and I was back in my body. Well, during part of this, I actually told my friend Sarah I was like half in my body and half in wherever else my consciousness went. And I actually told my friend Sarah, "I'm having an out of body experience right now," because that was kind of, so yeah. This kind of skipped some of the angelic encounters that I've had. This started in July. I had seen a negative type astral being earlier this year, and I had called in the angels to help take it away. Well, I didn't really believe in the angels when I had called them in. It was my friend Christina had advised me to do that. I didn't completely believe in them, and I totally understand why people need to be shown things before they can believe in them. This one evening, I started off with this really weird yoga pose where I balanced like on one arm and two arms, my whole body, and I haven't really tried to recreate it. And then after that, I decided to meditate, and I realized I had this new flexibility. So I decided to fold both my legs up onto my lap, which is really like, you see it in some of the Indian goddesses and gods. They have like their legs crossed up like that, and it looks kind of crazy, and it feels kind of crazy to be in that position. But anyways, after I did that, I first accomplished that, it felt like I broke through into another level of ability and consciousness. So you might want to try that. But I was meditating, and I kind of broke through into this dimension of numbers and letters, just kind of being everything. And I kind of get through that, and I see this being, and it looks about this as tall as a normal person, but it has like wings, and it's kind of shining. So I'm like asking it all these different questions. It didn't. I couldn't really formulate any question it could answer. I asked if I should quit my job. I was thinking about that, and it said no. It said it couldn't tell me because it would change the outcome. And I'm kind of thinking like, well, okay, I guess I can't really ask you these questions then that I have. But then I asked it, oh, I figured I could ask it about him because that would be something he could tell me about. So I asked him where it was from, and it said, well, I'm just from around here. And I said, well, how come I can't see your face? Because like its face was kind of like blocked out, and I could see the red letters and numbers kind of growing across like I've described before. And it said, and this is really poignant, it said, because I'm so beautiful, it might kill you. And that really shook me up because it didn't sound like it was something that I could have invented myself or, that I would have even thought of at all. And after that, it kind of faded out. I kind of had a little connection, and then it kind of left. But after that, I had a couple different psychic readings several different times, and they on one of the occasions they actually communicated to me through the psychics and said that we want you to be cooperative with us and invoke us to help you and let us know when you want to help us and stuff like that. And I was told that I actually co-create them, and this kind of like threw me off because it's like if I co-create them, then how is it that they're real without me helping to co-create them? Well, I've since kind of discovered that I co-create them into my reality, like asking them to be there, but that they might be there anyways, whether I invoke them or try to see them. Sometimes I just try to see them, and I do. But then this one night I was having, I usually will walk around outside, and I don't like to take flashlight because I want to see in the dark better. And a lot of the times I've gone out walking, I'll have just this crowd of angels just hanging around me, going with me where I go. It's really an empowering feeling, like invincibility. But I have to have like pureness of thought. I can't. If I delve into negative thoughts, then I'll get the image of some type of negative being attacking me, coming from wherever. And then once I shake off the negative thought, I perceive the being leaving me, and then angels will just pretty much tear it up and kick it out of my reality. So watching this whole, good versus evil drama on another level is really pretty fascinating to be able to witness that, at least in a psychic sense. I don't see them with just my eyes. It's all psychic sense. But this one night I asked them, I was feeling my connection to them really strongly. So I asked them, I said, do you exist whether I co-create you or not? And I said, yeah, we are archetypal beings. We exist whether you help co-create us or not. I didn't know what an archetypal being was, and they said that meant that they had no beginning and they had no end. So they're pretty much just in the fabric of reality itself. Different other connections I've had with them is stuff that I can't really explain very well, but another part of this is actually my own personal shift that I've perceived is breaking through into this this white realm where it's really hard to see because everything is just so white if you can maybe imagine, there's the movie The Matrix. Well, they go into the loading program, and it's just a pure blank white space, and they're just standing there in the space of whiteness. It's like that. Well, I could kind of make out different things, like there's like people, not really trees, but different strange stuff that's not of this world. Definitely not of this world, in a sense of this physical reality, because obviously it just exists in another layer of this reality. And the beings there, all I could really see was their face, and they have like white clothing, so I could see their face, maybe some hands. And I would break through into this in the middle of the night, like when I'm out walking or at my house, or whatever. Not as much during the day, but I'll break through into this reality. And one of the main times that I was able to do this, I perceived myself as being given angel wings and an angel halo. Sounds kind of delusional, right? Well, if you were me in my reality, you might say, well, that sounds perfectly natural. After I've been able to help different people, really through guidance that is not from my physical body. This one girl that I helped, that kind of saved her from her father a little bit, was just really guided to do it, and I really maneuvered through it so easily, was able to kind of get her out of there to where her father couldn't hit her again. But then I didn't get in a fight with her father either, which could have been something. I didn't have to go to court. It ended up being really easy, even though I saw this man hit his daughter. I ended up getting her out of there and away. And I really wouldn't have known that I had actually ended up helping her, but she called me a couple months later and said, you really helped me, and I I don't know what I would have done. I would have been like stranded and, etc. But just wanted me to know that it had been like a new starting point for her life, to where she'd gone to rehab and gotten her life back together starting from that point. I was like, wow, kind of blown away that I had been able to maneuver through that so easily through the help of the angels. But yeah, so then this was a few weeks ago that I was given in my vision of being in the white realm, being given angel wings and an angel halo. So that's an interesting vision to have, but it's really not that far fetched, since I am everything and everything is me. Angels are part of me, so why can't I be an angel myself? It really just seems almost natural. Almost natural, because the confines of my physical mind, which had been trained into the physical reality, are kind of saying that is really just, the stuff of delusion. But, I can't really think that way anymore. So that stuff is starting to break away. And that's my version of the shift, or the thought processes that have been drilled into me about, money being the ultimate goal, and status, and all these things that are really unnecessary. All this stuff's kind of falling away, falling apart, to where it seems like the only things that are truly necessary are water, food, shelter, and air. That doesn't sound like very much, but if you really think about it, that's all we actually need. Okay, go ahead and click over to part 3 and I'll wrap this up. Namaste.